big cup pasatita, yep, on a mic.
Alright. Press record flow naturally, I'm riding a bike.
Alright. Send a DM to someone I like, come on, be a guest.
Alright. If it's just Chang and Denhoff, it's a yapping duet. Wet. Alright. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Chang Hoff podcast. We are here with our lovely guest, YZM.
Hello, I'm YZM, aka Big Yiz, aka the Rage God, aka the most hated, aka the king of the underground, aka your grandma's favorite rapper. You did.
Yeah. Welcome, YZM.
What's happening?
That was a great intro.
Thank you.
We just made an awesome song.
I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. And
Yes,
feel free to move the mic wherever you want if you need it.
I think right here should be good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think so? Yeah.
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
Okay, yeah,
Cool,
we
cool.
here.
But yeah, you have mentioned some of your new stuff is kind of like a pop alternative.
Yeah, I'm on some alternative shit right now. Yeah.
So I don't know if we did that, but there's some similarities.
Yeah, for certain. It's almost like a alternative R&B vibe. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was dope. It came together really good. You're really your process is really cool because it was just like instantly there was already like a hook and we're just like need a shot of you every day. Just
Yes,
like
sir.
right off riff. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a banger.
Yeah, I come up with the melody first, and I don't freestyle, so I definitely I'll get a melody in my head and I'll hum it to myself, and then I'll place the words there because I feel like the melody is what's the most important first, and then I get the concept, and then I write the lyrics to go with the concept and the melody. So yeah,
Nice.
So you thought of the melody first, and then you found words to fit it.
yep. I just heard the beat. I started humming. I'm like, okay, so this is what the melody's gonna be. Now what words are gonna go here to fill in that space? You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes,
It's like you're laying the foundation and then you're building the house on top of it.
for certain. Yeah, I think it's easier that way.
For sure. All right, YZM. Well, we like to start these podcasts with a new segment that we started this season called the Chang Hoff Conversation Cards. So we have this deck of cards. It's just a regular deck of cards now, but we're going to make custom ones soon. And each card is linked to a question that AJ has over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle them, and you're going to pick out 3 questions or 3 cards. And you get to decide what question you answer, and then you get to decide what questions we answer.
Okay, cool. I don't know how to shuffle for shit, so this is still impressive every time.
Little ASMR for the listeners. Maybe that's what maybe this is what they're waiting for.
All right.
So
Yeah, go for it.
any 3.
Okay.
Any card.
Let's go with this one. Keep going. Yeah, sure, we gonna grab this one right here. Keep going. And I like this one for some reason. This one's calling me.
Boom.
All right.
Okay, so just read out the number and the suit of the cards, and we'll lay out the questions.
You would never believe this, bro. 2 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds.
Whoa.
way.
Whoa.
Yo, show it to the camera.
Bro, not even playing.
Yo.
That's just crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bro, I'm just as blowed.
That's okay. That's
Okay,
awesome,
2,
right?
3, and 4 of diamonds.
Yes.
Okay. 2 is if you could master a skill overnight, what would it be? 3 is so I'm gonna read all 3 questions, and then you pick which one you want.
Word.
So master one skill overnight. What's a creative ambition you haven't told people about? And who's the most inspiring creator you've ever met?
Yeah, so pick which question
So
you want to
master a
answer.
skill overnight, a creative ambition you haven't told that many people about, the most inspiring creator you've ever met.
Let's go with the last one. Most
Okay.
inspiring creative I ever met.
And then which one do you want us to answer? You can pick which card. And
What was the other two?
The other ones are if you could master one skill overnight, and what's a creative ambition you haven't told people about?
That one. I want y'all to answer that one. Creative
Well,
ambition.
each of us, we each get one.
You each get
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So then, you do the first one, and you do creative ambition.
Okay.
Okay.
Word.
You want to go first?
Yeah, if you want me to.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, then the question one more time.
Who's the most inspiring creator you've ever met?
Can I can say 2 people, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, so Mika. She's a really good friend of mine. I like her process. Her process is very similar to mine. She plays piano and she comes up with melodies, and then she gets concepts for songs and she writes them. I'm not too sure if she's the one who told me the pop thing about the that we spoke about earlier off camera. But
yeah, say that so they know what that is too.
I'll give y'all the secret sauce after this. But but the way that she writes is very inspiring to me. Especially me being a hip hop artist that's trying to transition into doing more pop and alternative shit. Like, I like her writing process. Like, I've listened to, like, when I first met her, she had a couple of singles out, and one song that really stuck out to me was Bad Woman, because I loved the melody and how the hook, the verse was like a hook, and then you go into the hook, and then the hook is even more catchy and infectious. I worked with this girl multiple times. Even like her off the dome coming up with hooks for me was just like impressive. So she's her, definitely Mika. And then the other one is this creative, his name is Indie Indigo, and you may have heard him. He works with Pusha Prem a lot. Me and him are really good friends. I like working with him so much, it got to a point where my friends and fans had to tell me, your first single on any of your new upcoming projects can't have Indie Indigo as the feature, because like 3 projects in a row, my first feature had Indie Indigo in it. My first single had Indie Indigo in it. He's I don't know, the way that he writes lyrics, the way that he jumps on beats, the way that he raps is very, very, very inspiring. Like, I've never heard anybody make music how he makes music, and how easily, how seamlessly it is. And just for like what is it called? Like a site. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like just to throw in somebody extra. So just shout out to DZ just because he's just one of DZ the Reaper. Yeah, he's just one of the most creative people I know, and he inspired a lot of my music as well. Yeah, so yeah.
All right, anybody else you want to keep going?
I could, but if I did, I'll go on forever. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, bud. What about you?
All right. So mine is creative ambition. I haven't told many people about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the biggest one is like opening a studio. I may have talked about this before, but I have this idea of a 2-story or 3-story space where the entrance floor is a cafe, where you can just like hang out, eat, get some coffee. There'll be like a stage for open mics and whatever, and then on top there'll be a second floor that's like studios that can be booked out.
That's dope. I had a similar idea.
Oh.
I thought about this too, and that's like, if I ever get to a point where I can put a lot of money back into the city, first of all, I want to buy back hoods and give them to to us colored people, us melanated folks, and then I wanted to create like a center for artists and creatives to go, just to have a place to chill, have a place to create, almost the same ideal as like a co-working space, but then there's a studio there. There's a clothing brand, like local clothing brands could come in, they can sell clothes there. They can get a contract and sell clothes there. People who do art can come and create art and sell art there. There'll be a stage for you to book and do shows. There'll be a place to record at. There'll be somebody there who can help you distribute music or help you with game plans. Just like a one-stop shop for creatives, you know what I mean? And try to, like, obviously, I would want to make it free, but you can't make it. With something like that, you can't make it free. Maybe some aspects free, but like maybe a subscription, or maybe like you pay this amount, we can do this for you. We got plans, something like that, obviously. But if I had the money, I would want to make it free. But you couldn't keep something afloat like that. You know what I mean?
Business is business.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a library if it was just like a really cool library. Because a lot of the libraries in Tampa now do have recording setups.
Oh, word.
It used to be just the one downtown, but I found this out recently that like 3 or 4 of them now have like a vocal booth, a board, a bunch of mics you can use.
Ah, that's dope.
That's available.
I haven't been to a library in over a decade. So
if anybody in Hillsborough County doesn't have your library card, get it, and you can book studio time.
That's dope. I might get
get
a library card now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be so much more. Like, it could just be, a place to just gather with other people and meet people.
Of course, like I've run into that. A lot of people don't like people at their house or the door they live at, but you want to link up. And I don't know if y'all ever had it where you wanted to link up with somebody to go over something creative, and they're like, hey, I think you're too far. Like it could be like a middle ground or some shit like that. Like, oh, it's a spot that, I know a lot of other creators are going to be at. We might run into somebody else, and it's a place that I know that we can sit down and talk securely. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah.
Almost the way you're describing it, I was thinking of like a mall, but instead of just a bunch of corporate stores, it's like local people.
That will be, that would be sick.
Because a mall is fun because it's so social and there's a lot of people walking around. You run into people. But yeah, if it was like local clothing brands, like food pop-ups, like there's a recording studio.
Yeah, and that would be dope. A mall for creatives. Yeah,
like a big water fountain in the middle.
that would be sick. Like I used to work at Humana, and it's at Humana is at Net Park, and Net Park used to be a mall. I guess back in the 80s and 90s. I was way too young to know. You know what I mean? And I guess the mall shut down, and then a lot of people just built office space in there. So now it's a big ass area with a cafeteria and just like a lot of people who just random boring jobs. And I'm like, what if a creative would have got their hands on this?
Yeah, like the opposite of that.
Made something cool, like even more than what I said. Like put like a skate park or something in there too. You know what I mean? Just some cool shit. You know what I mean? That'd be sick.
That would be park. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Just have like rides, just have like roller coasters.
That'd be fucking sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some middle ground spot. Definitely, like when I think of middle ground spot in terms of like the Tampa metro area, it has to be downtown.
Yeah, for certain.
Because like St. Pete's right there. It's just across the bridge. If you're coming from Brandon, it's right there, just off of I-4. If you're coming from like more like North Tampa, then it's
good little middle ground. Yeah, place that everybody knows.
Yeah, and I feel like there's already kind of like this creative, like let's get together type of energy in downtown Tampa. So
for certain, yeah.
All right, let's make it happen. Let's go into
start building.
The minute that the money start flowing in the right way, you know what I mean? Yeah. I get a lot of streams, and they pay us crumbs. So the minute that it gets significant, I got y'all.
I think it's really interesting that like you guys and a bunch of other people that we've talked to, creatives, have very similar kind of ideas, whether it's like a rec center or like a studio or like a creative common space,
because it's something that's needed. Have you noticed that at least back in the day, like they used to make places fun. Like you notice there's not like a lot of places that kids can go anymore. You know what I mean? There's not a place that teenagers can hang out with, and they wonder why YNs run around with guns all the time. You know what I mean? And it's just like, if you, even in urban areas, white areas, it don't even matter. If there was a place where people can just link up and stay the fuck out of trouble because it's fun and there's something there that interests everybody, then I feel like a lot of shit that's going on and go on. Like you can't even go to a fucking McDonald's anymore. There's not a pay place. So now you gotta sit down, order your food from a kiosk, and hear a baby crying because they're bored as fuck sitting in this place that they don't want you at. The atmosphere is fucked up. They have it set up so that as soon as you get done eating, leave. They used to be like, hey, we got free Wi-Fi here. Chill here for a little bit because we like the atmosphere. It's like everything is like so unpeople friendly nowadays. And creators, we don't roll that way. You know what I mean?
I remember a McDonald's at one point where they just had a game console. They had like a GameCube set up.
Yes.
And like I ordered the food and I'm eating, and then I see that and I'm just playing the game. Like I think I was there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's like they take, it's like, how do we get people the fuck out of here? Let's take everything that was cool and aesthetic and get it the fuck out of here. We don't. It's like everywhere makes you feel unwanted now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people have these ideals. It's like, you ever think about, like, you ever have a friend that comes in out of town and like you're gonna have to spend a bag to show them a good time. Take them to and it's not even that's not much to do. Take them to an amusement park, take them to a club, so and so forth. Find a common ground of your own interest. But if you had a place that fed all that, then hey, I know the perfect place for us to go. You never have to like second guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't got that shit though.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. What was my question?
Yours is skill overnight.
Oh,
if you could wake up tomorrow and you have like a new ability,
a new skill overnight, this is interesting. Because
let's say on the topic of creativity.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say like I could go all over the place with that, but
you can't say like teleportation or
like a creative skill that I would want to have overnight. Man, this is a toughie. I don't know.
Or it could be any skill.
Honestly, probably like building stuff. Okay, like if I could confidently build a house on my own, Like, I think that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty
because you could just
sick.
like build anything. If I want a new table, if I want a new chair, if I want a new like trunk, like if I want to be extra specific, I don't know. I've had like this idea or this like goal of mine to make like almost Louis Vuitton trunks, like just like really high quality trunks and like suitcases and stuff that people could just like walk around and do stuff with.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably to build stuff would be like the skill that I would want to acquire overnight.
Yeah, and then you could build a rec center.
Yes, then I could build the rec center by hand.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Can I add something to mine?
Sure.
I think a creative ambition I have is also just like building or not building, but like contributing to just like a warm creative community. You know, I think creating things doesn't have to be competitive, and like everybody benefits from it not being competitive. Like,
yes,
yeah.
We're all trying to do the same thing, and like there's room for everybody to do their thing and find their own lane.
I've lost a lot of friends and peers because of competition.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't like to compete either. I've never been I'm not a competitive person in the least bit. I'm in my own lane. I really don't give a fuck about what other people are doing. I mean, sorry, that comes off condescending. I do give a fuck about what other people are doing, but I like when people do what they do, and that's their thing, and they're in their lane. You know what I mean? And I hate that. And I guess it comes with hip hop. It's like, nigga, I'm the best.
Yeah,
you know, this is hip hop. It's supposed to be competitive. I'm like, no, you can be a good rapper, and I can be a good rapper. We're both good at different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I guess niggas just like to be the best. I really don't give a fuck. I be chilling. I just like to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But an experience I've had too that's been really rewarding is like making a song with somebody who's never made a song.
Oh,
you know, because like I've been producing for I don't know, probably like 12 years, and like it's hasn't been a profession. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'd like it to be, but it's always been just like a thing on the side. And you know, that's one thing. It's fun to make a song with a friend, and they're like, "Oh, it's on SoundCloud. I can send it to people." Like,
yeah.
But
I've done that before.
Yeah, like I think that's so cool to just make something with somebody and just let them see themselves in a new light.
For certain.
You know, I think it's kind of like a confidence booster. It's like,
yeah, bro. One of my best friends, he's like, he's rich as fuck right now too. He works at Riot Games. You know what I mean? He's a nerd at heart. So yeah, you know, but like, I'm hip hop at the core. So hanging around me, like I'm a nerd too. So we have the same interests, but he wasn't really into music and specifically not hip hop. And one of my crowning achievements is teaching him how to rap. When we used to work together, I had one of my homegirls come over to my crib, and I had a mixtape playing. And my homie had a verse on it, and he's not a rapper. And she was listening to the verse. She's like, "Oh, this is good." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my homie." And she was like, "What? That's him?" It's like, he raps. I'm like, not really, but he's rapping on this. You know what I mean? With being able to teach somebody how to rap, like just give them the basic like foundation, and then having them come up with their own shit it's kind of a cool process. And the people who take it and actually continue with it is even more impressive. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
It's like you spark someone in someone, and they just fly.
It's like you ever done something that you didn't think that you could do or never wanted to do, and then you do it and you realize you're good at it, and you're like, maybe I should do this more.
You're like, interesting.
That's like me with bowling. Like,
okay.
I never found bowling interesting in the least bit. I used to see it on TV in like TV shows and whatnot, right? Then one time my friend invited me bowling, and I started bowling, and I was really fucking good at it. Now I really love bowling. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sick at this. I'm not even a sports person, but I love bowling. You know what I mean?
You have your own ball and shoes.
Nah,
and stuff?
it's not that deep. But whenever we go to anywhere that has bowling, I'm like, I'll sweep you motherfuckers. I always get for some way. I might not be the best bowler, but for some reason, every time I go out with my friends, I have the highest score. And I'm not professional in the least bit. You know what I mean? I just like I have a knack at this shit. You know what I mean?
That's fun. Bowling's such a fun hang too.
It is.
It's really it's chill. I just like to talk shit about people when I do it.
Well, it's cool because like you can kind of talk, or you can also just like kind of zone out and just watch people bowl.
Yeah,
like you can engage at different levels.
It's a nice little pastime.
Yeah. It really is. All right, Yism, let's get into the music. So we were talking a little bit before the episode started, and we got it of like when you started and how you got into it. But let's run it back. So when did you start getting into music? When did you first pop up on the scene, etc.? Let's go through the story.
I first started getting into music. I've been rapping since I was 9. I've been on stage, not specifically rapping, but like just being on stage period since I was a jit, like my whole fucking life. So I was already prepared to be on stage. I started recording in 2008. I recorded my own personal first song in 2009. I started taking myself serious in 2013. That's when I jumped on the scene. I made it to Rolling Loud by 2015. Headlining show with my friends all through 2015, 2016. You know what I mean? Started throwing my own shows 2016. Went viral 2018. I was on No Jumper. I was on Perfect Plug. I've worked with a lot of the biggest artists in the city. You know what I mean? You know, and so my process is, you know, I just like, I've always wanted to be a rapper. I start once my friend and the same friend that I taught how to rap. He's the one who taught me how to record. He was actually doing vocal recordings for like an animated series that was on Newgrounds. And he said he literally wrote me one day and he was like, "Hey bro, I got bored and recorded the song." I'm like, "Nigga, what? How?" he gave me the free software, told me what to use, and that's how I started recording myself before I started going to the studio. So once I was able to record myself, I took off and I never stopped. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just how the music shit worked out for me. You know what I mean?
So what was that thing that went viral for you?
I have a homie. His name is Jay Briscoe. Shout out to Jay Briscoe. He's really popping like on the internet. He's like a super popping underground artist. And essentially like he just reached out to me one day, like 2016 type shit. And we're like, I'm like, yeah, let's work. I put him on some shows and I put him on a song. And then one day he was like, "Bro, I got this song." And I'm like, "It's called Nine Tails." And I'm like, I'll jump on the shit. So we went to his crib and we recorded it. And bro, we didn't just go viral once. We went viral like 3 times. Ooh. Wow. Like we went viral in 2017 for doing a show when we put it out. And this show is crazy. Then we went viral again for it in 2018 when we got it on No Jumper. And then we went viral a third time recently, I think after the pandemic, because it started popping on TikTok. So yeah, we went viral 3 times off of that song, and it still like gets numbers to this day.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about like that virality that just because it comes out of nowhere? It's pretty unexpected. Like my only like ever foray into like being viral is like just a random TikTok that all of a sudden just like got 1 million views overnight. And it personally ruined TikTok for me. Because afterwards I was like, I got to do another one. And it never happened. And then I was just like, maybe I should stop doing this. And then I did.
Oh, man.
Haven't been on TikTok in years.
I think you should start back.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so how did you feel about going viral?
Here's me giving you motivation, but
with the dramatic music.
Being viral is not what you think it is. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, I think my homie, because it's his song, I think he reaped the benefits. He's really popping. But me, I was just the feature, and he shows me love. Me and him are still cool to this very day. We just did a new song together like last year. But he has a homie that's with him because he has his own collective. Some people, like, obviously my name's on there featuring Yism, but a lot of people was like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was you on the song." Like, a lot of people don't know that it's me. Yeah. So other than if you watch the video or see us perform it, a lot of other people who like just hear the song and they know Jay Briscoe, they thought it was like his homie Trap, and I'm like, nah, it's definitely me. But but it's like I went viral for it because of him. It's because of us, so we got it platformed on No Jumper. But it's like the only thing that really came from it is that I got a string of shows, and it boosted my popularity in the city, maybe outside of the city too. But like, I'm still just a regular person. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, sometimes going viral, especially if they don't know the face behind the name, is not really much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It kind of goes away just as fast as it came.
Yeah. Like, I still get booked to this day. I mean, I've never had a problem getting booked, but I still get booked to this day because people just know me as being, the popular guy who was always popping out the shit. But it's like, that's about it. Like, I'm not gonna act like I don't have accolades. I do, but it's not enough for me to flex. I'm obviously still in a city. Once I feel like I really did something, then I'll probably talk about shit a little bit more.
Still waiting.
I mean, I still stay humble, but I'll probably brag. I feel like that's not nothing to brag about. Like, I went viral, but a lot of people go viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like there's that fine line between like being humble and like being cocky, which is like people can kind of blur, because if you're just talking like, oh yeah, I did this and it did very well, and be like, why are you talking yourself up like that? I'd be like, I'm just stating the facts.
I hate that's another reason why I don't do a lot of shit. Sometimes when I meet people, at one point in time, just because there's a lot of rappers, I used to not tell people I was an artist, which is counterintuitive, because how do I blow up if I don't tell people that I make music? You know what I mean? Yeah. I got over that once I started getting booked a lot more, but then it got to a point where like I've done a lot of things in the city, but I realized that if you try to tell people, like, have you ever talked to somebody and then when they talk to you, they bring up a lot of shit and it almost sounds unbelievable? like they'll just start saying, You'll have a random conversation. You'll talk about something. They'll be like, "Oh, yeah, and I did this, and I did that, and I did this, and I did that." And you're like, "Okay, bro." Maybe at first, but now it's like, okay, and that's kind of like that's
okay. So cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like how it is for me. I don't want to come off as bragging, but two, I've done so much with so many people that it's like, there's no way that. Like, it gets unbelievable, that to the point that I don't want to talk about it. And also, I feel like it's more so actions speak louder than words. I can tell you everything that I did, but if you're not seeing it as it unfolds, you don't really give a fuck. So it's just like, I gotta keep going, doing new shit, keep creating, and then you can be impressed while watching me do it. That's just how I go about it. I don't like to really bring up shit that I do unless I'm asked about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But sorry.
Yeah, I have noticed, like I mentioned earlier, I was just kind of on your catalog on Spotify scrolling through, and you can scroll for a bit. Yeah. You got some output.
I've been making music for fucking ever, and I don't, and that's just my streaming discography.
Yeah.
Cause I got music everywhere. I got music on BandLab. I got music on SoundCloud, even Reverb Nation. You know what I mean? Okay. And I even have music that I lost that used to be on MySpace. You know what I mean? Wow. Music I can never get back. You know what I mean? I have an extensive discography, even the time before I was YZM. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Your discography. What are some of your favorites off of all the music that you've made?
My favorite, like song or project or feature, like what?
Let's do all three.
My favorite song for myself is probably, I don't know, it's probably not out yet, to be honest.
Oh. That's good.
But my favorite song that's out has to be between Saitama featuring my boy Fetty Suo, which is like a really dope rage song. Of course there's Pink Dress not out yet. So yeah. There's Parasite featuring my boy Indie Indigo.
Okay.
I like that a lot. Me and my homegirl Michaela just dropped the video for Demon Time. That's one of my favorite too. So it has to be out of those three. It's like my favorite song. Of course, I like Emma 2 with Doechii as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's Emma space II.
Yeah. In case you're trying to look it up on streaming.
Yeah. And I don't like the other song I have with Doechii at all.
You didn't even have to mention it.
My bad.
It is what it is.
All right, my favorite album from myself has to be, my personal favorite album for myself is probably going to be In Rage God We Trust. Because when I started doing like the rage and the trap music, it's around the time that I started getting like notoriety as a solo artist. Cause I've always been a solo artist, but I've always been with a collective, my collective Macavision. And more so, I think I was known as the creator and just like one of the driving forces of that collective. And after things didn't go too well with that main collective at the time. Then I started to being more recognized as a solo artist before I brought shit back. So yeah, probably Enraged God We Trust, and then unreleased, I think my album Prom that I'm working on might be with like my best. Oh yeah, and Love Sick Black Summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Love Sick Black Summer is like me going back to my like my lyrical / like singing roots, and it was like a different change of pace for people who knew me for my more aggressive music. You know?
Yeah, and you dip into a lot of genres.
Yeah.
It goes all over the place. So what are some of your inspirations for these different genres of yours?
I grew up on. I didn't grow up. Okay, so I would never. I hate when rappers be like, "I'm not a rapper. I'm a rock star. I'm a pop star." I hate when rappers do that shit. I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist. You know what I mean? I hate when rappers do that shit. Because it almost takes away from what hip hop is. Makes it like. I also hate when they say hip hop is a young man's game. But like a rock star can be like 70 and go on tour. Yeah. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I always say that first and foremost, my music is rooted in hip hop. I am a rapper before I am anything else. I didn't grow up on hip hop though. My mom had me listening to a lot of reggae. I'm Jamaican. A lot of old school music, like from the 80s, 70s, 60s, shit like that, 50s, as far back as we can think, like a lot of old school music, you know what I mean? And I grew up on a lot of pop. I grew up on like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, all kinds of shit like that. So I got into hip hop around the time I got into hip hop is around the time I started rapping. I thought it was like cool. I used to obviously being a black young man, I grew up with hip hop around me, but I didn't pay attention to it much until I could understand it, until it made sense to me. You know what I mean? So once I adapted hip hop, I became like a student of the game. And some of my favorite rappers / artists are, of course, Lupe Fiasco, Kanye West, and Lil Wayne. Of course, I was inspired to rap by Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, DMX, Ludacris, shit like that. So it's just like listening to these people, I've noticed that the best artists are artists who don't make the same type of music. You know what I mean? Kanye West is a rapper. He has 3 classic rap albums behind his belt, but then when 808s and Heartbreak came out, he continued to push the envelope of what hip-hop can even be, what you can blend it with, what kind of music you can make, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? As well as Lil Wayne being the peak best rapper alive in 2008, and then coming off of the multi-million-dollar making album that was the Carter 3 to Rebirth, which was an experimental underground rock album. You know what I mean? Yeah. What rapper in their right mind would do that? So you look at shit like that and you like, damn, like some of my favorite artists really push the envelope. Like, why can't I? Why do I have to be restricted to making a specific sound? So that's why I like to experiment. You know?
Yeah, and your music reflects that too. Like that mold of artist that is trying to reinvent themselves every project. Yeah, I think that comes across in your work that you're like, oh, I'm gonna sing now. Oh, I'm gonna rap again. Oh, it's gonna be aggressive. Oh, it's gonna be chill. Like,
yeah, definitely. But, even right now, I'm in the midst of 3 projects. Okay. I have like a little trilogy. We're gonna drop Prom, which is alternative. Then I'm gonna drop Nightmare Child, which is more of a traditional hip hop album. Not so much trap, but like and not so much like boom bap either, but just like a traditional rap project. You know what I mean? And then I got my album Born in Fire, which is what people know me for most, which is the rage and the trap shit. So yeah, I got like a little trifecta going on.
So are you kind of working on all of those? Yes. Just as they come?
No, I'm working on them all at the same time. It's driving me fucking crazy. Yeah. I've been working on Prom for like 4 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It's driving me nuts, bro. I'm losing my fucking mind.
If you had to give a percentage of how close it is to being finished.
Prom is almost done. Like, and it's like, if I had to give a percentage, I'll say definitely 90% done. One of the beats, I wrote a song, and I made a demo and put one of my homies on, and that beat ended up being sold by the producer. So I had to scrap it, which pushed me back a little bit, and now I have to find a replacement song to go there. And then after I record that replacement song and a couple of verses on songs that I haven't finished, all I would have to do is mix and master, and I can finally put it out there. And also, I filmed a music video like 3 years ago with a fuck ass videographer, and he essentially so this is how it went. He put me. He was doing a deal, and I didn't mind. I wanted to work with him. I like his work. I didn't mind paying him the full price, but if I could get it on a deal, I was gonna get it on a deal. Mm-hmm. So I got it on a deal. He filmed the shit right, and then when he finished it, like I already heard complaints from people that he doesn't like get people back their shit, but he finished my video like the next day and sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, this is dope as fuck, right? But it had a watermark on it, so I'm like, all right, the video looks dope. Are you gonna edit anything else on it? And he's like, nah, it's done. I'm like, okay, can you send me the video? Before he sent me the video, he sent me a contract, and the contract stated that I could not drop the video in full unless I paid him the remainder of the amount for a regular video, or else the only way I would be able to drop the video is on his YouTube channel. And I'm like, if these were the stipulations of your deal, then why not say that before we filmed the video? Because then I would have just paid you. I would have just paid you full. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that video has kind of been in hiatus. The only reason why I haven't paid to have it put out just yet is because the album wasn't done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, fuck some of these videographers, but like, yeah, I've been working on it for a long time. I got the video. I'm gonna put it out. So once I pay for that video to put out, then I can start. I've already started the rollout, but then I can actually get everything to go in order because it does tell a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm wondering. Like, I feel like that's one of my goals. As I wouldn't necessarily say I'm an artist. Like, probably more of a producer. Mm-hmm. But it's maybe something I want to explore. But I feel like one thing I really want to do is just put out a lot of music.
Yeah.
You know, because like there's so many things that we don't have control over. Mm-hmm. You don't have control over if people like it, if different people resonate with it. Like that's one thing I feel like we have control over as people who make music is you can make a lot of music.
Yeah.
And at least give yourself more chances. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So as somebody who has put out a lot of music, do you have any thoughts on like what kind of barriers you have to overcome? Like I know some people will get stuck on a project and get perfectionist about it and not feel like it's ready, or you hit certain walls. Like,
my philosophy is flood the market. Especially as an indie artist, I know people and shit. Maybe myself now because I'm working on Prom is a passion project. That's the reason why. But I see people who create music. I have a friend right now. She's phenomenal. I'm not gonna call her by name because she probably don't want people to know this. But she has so much music recorded, but she's afraid to put it out. Yeah. And I'm like, why? And she's like, essentially, she doesn't want to be criticized. She wants everybody to like her. And I said, first thing that I was taught as a creative that everybody's not gonna like your shit, and that's okay. But if you're a talented artist, which you are, then more people are like it than there are haters, and that's why I say. And if nobody's hating, then something's fake. You have to have some haters in the mix too. You know what I mean? If everybody likes your shit, something's not right. You know what I mean?
Somebody's lying to you.
Somebody's lying. Yes. You know what I mean? You gotta have some haters. So I I said, unfortunately, no matter how perfect you make it, somebody's not gonna like it. Even if you created the perfect song and everybody in the world collectively can agree that this is the best song ever in their mind, a good percentage of that world is not going to tell you that the song is good just because it's you, just because there got to be a hater, just because you got to be different, you got to go against the grain. I'm trying to tell you, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you got to put it out there, you know what I mean? I say flood the market. There's no reason to hold it because what are you holding music for? If a label head is looking for you and you don't have a back catalog or you don't have nothing to show for it, how can you get how are you going to get that push? You know what I mean? How they going to know to put you on, you know what I mean? So definitely got to flood the market for people who hit that wall. Because I have other homies or who want to switch their style up or they want to do something different, but they're afraid about people perceive you. Fuck how people perceive you. Do what the fuck you want. Nigga, if you want to be a professional Ninja Turtle, do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, just like do what the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? Like me, like I will experiment. I had people tell me, like, hey fam, like I feel like you put out too much music. You need to rest. Or they be like, you gotta you gotta wait, you gotta make them want you type shit. I'm like, bro, we're local artists, nigga. If I stop putting out music right now, another artist is gonna come and put out music similar, different, whatever. He'll get popping, and niggas will forget about me because I'm a local artist. I'm not famous. Like you gotta like keep your name out there. I do have a fan base, and I always will have some listeners. But you don't want to lose the momentum that you got because the momentum got to keep going. I don't mind crashing out and starting from the bottom, but if I can help it, I won't. Like if I'm right here, I'm trying to stay in that pocket, so I stay some kind of consistent. I'm one of the people who is so consistent, like I can stop working and you wouldn't know, but I put in that much work to do so. You know what I mean? You see the discography. So to any artist out there, flood the market. Fuck all that holding shit. Fuck trying to make shit perfect. Somebody else told me that if your song is 85% done to a normal listener, they wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just do what you got to do. If you feel like put that song out there, stop being scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been a nice thing too about like the way we've been doing the songs for this podcast is like it's got to be done before you leave.
Yeah.
So there's some people who I think are used to working on a song for months and months.
Yeah.
And we work on it for 2 hours and I'm like, okay, we're done. They're like, oh, but can I? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, it's 90% there, but nobody hears. Nobody but the artist hears that last 10%.
Yeah.
And then like once you accept that it's done, you accept it as a finished.
Yeah.
There's been multiple times where I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, something's missing, and something's not missing. It's just me being critical.
Yeah.
It'd be like little things that nobody hear, like a certain mix, a certain sound. Blah blah blah. And if it bothers me that much, I'll go back to the studio just to fix that one thing. But if I feel like, and I also play my music to like other people.
Yeah.
And if they tell me, bro, this shit jamming, bro, I love this shit, bro. When you finna put it out, I'm like, it might be good enough to put it out. It's just me being critical, and that's how I get over a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, people telling me that they like my shit. It's like, okay, if you like it and you like it in this state, maybe I'm the one tweaking. Let me put it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
that feedback is very important, and because it's like, yeah, you can get stuck in that mode where it's like, oh, it's not finished. But if other people are telling you like it's good, and the average person isn't gonna hear these little tweaks that you make or like that random little like mix that you did, then like just go for it.
For certain.
Just go for it.
There's value in the details though. Like I definitely tend to be somebody who it gets to like 80% and I'm like, okay, cool. But like that 80% to like 90%, getting those details, or like 95, like getting those little details, I think that does definitely elevate a song. And like for me, I feel like that's something I can work on, is like spending more time with those details. But I think if those details are keeping you from putting it out, that's where the issue is.
Yeah, for certain. And then like somebody like you have the luxury to record yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes I have to put a song out at 85%, or if I'm trying to get this little mix right, I'm gonna have to, like, it could be the smallest thing, and if I want to get that right, I'm gonna have to go pay a good amount of money to get that done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to put that bitch out at 85%. You know what I mean? And it's okay. That's fine. And I have a lot of songs that are 100%. I have a lot of songs that are 90% shit. I even got away with getting putting songs at 75%. But sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it be. But as you can see, like, obviously I'm not the biggest artist in the world. I'm not popping. I'm not famous by any like sense of the word, but I have notoriety in my little city. You know what I mean? I got my little movement. I got I got all my little fans and shit that they run up my shit. I got a consistent number on Spotify streams, on my social medias, on my YouTube and shit. So I'm like, there's somebody listening. Even if my video drop and that shit only get 100 views on YouTube, you know what I mean? I'll put 100 people in this room right now.
Yeah. That'll
tell those 100
get hot in here.
Tell them 100 people to come to a show, nigga. We lit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I just look at little shit like that, and that's what made me keep going. You know what I mean? I like to create. I like when people listen to my shit.
Yeah. It's super validating, and it is definitely good to like have that perspective of like put 100 people in a room and see how you feel.
Yeah.
Like, because you see people on YouTube or Spotify and they get millions of streams and this and that, and you're like, oh, I wish I was that popping.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, like even 50 people, that's a lot of people.
50 people is a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've been in the show that's 50 people, and it looks like, if you look at it on camera, it looks like one of the biggest shows ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, that's a metric we don't think about. People think about having more fans. Like, how can I get more fans? But another thing is like
catering to your core fans.
Well, like deepening the fans you already have.
Yes.
You know, because like a person that's heard one of your songs one time and is like, oh, they're cool, versus a person that is like keeping up. They watch the videos, like they see that you did an interview, so they want to check out the interview. Yeah. They come to shows. They want to buy merch. Like,
yeah, for certain.
Yeah, I think if you have like 100 fans who have like a real relationship with the music versus like whatever 1,000 who just listen on Spotify. Just listen
every so often, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'd rather have a few close friends who I really love than just like a million people who I barely know.
Yeah, bro.
True.
I don't know.
Facts, no, I feel that too, bro. Yeah. And if it expands, it expands. That's just how it goes. I cater to who listens to me. Some people they don't get the amount of what they're looking for, and they'll quit. I've watched people come and go as long as I've been in this shit. The people who keep going eventually get somewhere. The people who stop, it's just a big case of what if.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like the meme of the miner.
Yeah. And you're right there. You're about to hit the diamonds, but you turn around. But the motherfucker that kept going eventually got that shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how it is, bro.
So what's your favorite part of being an artist? Is it making the music? Is it performing? Is it making music videos? What would you say your favorite part is?
I like all the shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I love that spark of creativity when you're writing and when you hit that stride and all the lyrics are just flowing out when you hear the right beat. You know what? It'd be easy to tell you what I don't like. I don't like fucking producing. I don't.
Yo, I got you.
I don't like making beats. I'm pretty solid at it. I sold a couple of them, but that I did that for myself. I don't make beats for fun. I make beats to get my creative juices flowing, and I sell them. It's not fun being a producer. I would never call myself a producer. I'm just a rapper who makes beats sometimes, and some of them are decent. You know what I mean? I love the process of recording. I love the process of making a music video, editing a music video myself, or having somebody. I love the process of pushing and promoting my work, and I love performing. I know people who won't get on stage unless they're paid. Now I'm to that level where I do have to, get paid to my shows, under management and shit like that. But I was one of the people who just like to jump on shows, even if it was free. Sometimes even was to help out like other curators, just because I like fucking performing. That's like half of the people in the city, like y'all don't have names, y'all don't pop out, nobody knows who the fuck you are. You want this price to perform, and you're barely on shows. What are you doing? Like, nobody's paying you. You don't bring a crowd in, and you barely perform. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. Like, why are you acting so Hollywood? Like, get on the fucking stage, perform. And if you performing is not your passion, you make the music for what? Because nobody's really getting paid to do this shit. You barely offered the music that you make and how much you pay to make it. What are you doing with it? Putting it out there for validation from friends? Like, I don't understand it. Maybe their process is different. I love performing. I love getting on stage. I love making people hype. I love the rush when I'm on stage. I love people's reaction to me when I perform. I just don't get why some people is so bougie about performance. I should be paid for my work, but at the same time, you don't feel no love for this shit? The money will come with it. The passion should come first. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel.
Yeah. Well, like now too, like you can record songs, put them out, and you don't have to perform them.
Yeah.
You could just put music out and never do shows, never.
I have people who don't. I mean, and that's cool. You don't have to be a part of the local scene, but there's people who just put out music and it's just on the internet, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Some of them barely.
Which that's.
I mean, but some of them barely push it. Like they just put it out.
Yeah.
They post a link one time. They don't shoot a video to it. Even if you don't shoot a music video to it, they don't do TikToks, short form content. They don't put snips out. Yeah. They just put the song out, put it on SoundCloud, post a link, maybe like a video of them promoting the song, and that's it. They don't do no shows. They don't do no networking. They don't come out and meet with nobody. They don't do no features. They don't I was like, I can't shit on you, but if you're an artist that's trying to blow up, that's not the way to do it. But if you're an artist who just want to put the music out to be heard, maybe somebody will stumble across you. Maybe, you know what I mean? If you just like the process and putting it out is just part of that process, I guess, you know what I mean? I'm not here to shit on nobody's process. It's just something. It's an art I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, are you thinking like you might as well realize it to the fullest extent and like make that song everything it can be?
No.
Like,
never that. I make way too much music to do that.
Yeah.
More so, if you're gonna you record your own music. So have you ever been in an actual studio?
Yeah.
Have you ever paid to record music?
Usually I split it. I never paid full.
You never paid full. Okay. I have to. I record. I don't record at home. At Grand Bay, I'm not gonna put them out there, but their prices are pretty steep. But they're the best in the city. You know what I mean? They make that it's worth it. But you're dishing out hundreds of dollars for a few hours to get the song recorded, mixed, and mastered. If you want to do multiple, that's more money.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the song you don't finish the session with the song being done, no matter how many hours you get. So you eventually you'll have to go back and get it mixed. Not every time, but most of the time. Right? You're putting a lot of money into making the music, and you're not making a lot of money back. If you're somebody who doesn't record yourself and you paid to get your shit recorded, mixed, mastered, then you hold on to it, it doesn't make sense to me. If you do put it out there, if you don't promote it, it doesn't make sense to me. If you promote it and nothing happens to it and you don't put a back behind it, it doesn't make sense to me. If you don't put a visual to it so people can understand that it's there, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's an art I don't understand. Some people are like that. I'm not like that. I'm like, if I'm going to put the song out, no matter how many songs I record, like you said, you could push it to the fullest extent. I can't do that to every song. But if I have something I believe in, I'm going to push that bitch as hard as I can. But even as an artist, I'm going to put myself out there, period. Here's my music. Here's the link to my music. Here's my music video. And I'm performing the song I just put out. Come see me. Because that's going to show the labels or the fans that are looking for somebody to listen to. He's consistent. He puts on good shows. He makes good music. He's actually passionate about what he does. He's not a lifeless thing that the label put money into. He actually likes to do this shit.
You're not an industry plant.
Yeah, of course. Just like that. That's just how I feel, though, once more.
And you could definitely tell, like, your love and your passion for this, the whole of it, just by the way you speak, and you really love to see it. So I wanted to ask, like, what role does love play in your life? For the music in general,
like for the music and like for everything else.
Yeah.
I guess love is everything. Like you can't do shit without love. If nobody loves you, you couldn't do nothing. If you didn't love nobody, if you didn't love what you were doing, if you didn't make music for the love of it, if you don't have a passion, you don't love what you do, you're not gonna do it to the fullest extent. When you you ever. Like, you go to your job and they be like, we're a family. Nigga, we're not a fucking family. And nigga, I'm not going to flip these burgers with a passion. Nigga, I'm not going to take these phone calls with a passion because fuck you, nigga. I would rather be doing anything else. You know what I mean? So if it's something that I'll do and I love it, I'm going to put my all into it. Just like you love a girl. Hopefully, I don't know how some niggas are nowadays, but you love a girl, you going to put all your love into her. And you going to want her to give you the love back. You know what I mean? If you put your love into the music and you push it out there, you want people to show the love back. So you do everything. Love, if you love what you do, then what you say. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life type shit. You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand the process of people making music but not wanting to do shit with it. You know what I mean? Like, love, I feel like love is everything, bro. Love is everything. Yeah. Like, a lot of people, a lot of shit was created for the sake of love. Like, who's the motherfucker who was like painting to impress a bitch, and then when the bitch wasn't impressed, he cut his ear off or some shit like that, like Vincent Van Gogh or some shit like that. He did that shit for the love. The nigga's like, I painted for you, and she still wasn't being appreciative, so he cut his fucking ear off. Like, bitch, take this shit. Yeah, I love you, bitch. You know what I mean?
You're so valid about that because I
love you.
Because like I'm a graffiti artist, right? All of this is me, right? So
that's dope as fuck. I didn't know that.
Thank you. Yeah. Sure. So I've done
you got your tag on your arm.
Yeah, I got my graffiti on my arm and everything. It's like, so I've studied the game of graffiti too, and like one of the people who is attributed as like the first graffiti writer, his name was Cornbread, and he was a mailman. And so what he used to do, he used to go and just, tag walls just like Cornbread and stuff, but he also had a crush on this girl. And so he would go all around the city and say like, I love you. I don't remember what her name is, but it's like, I love you, whatever, or like Cornbread plus whatever. And now, like, I get to enjoy graffiti as an art, and I get to go to, like, museums where it's just all street art. And I'm like, it all started from this guy named Cornbread who was just saying, I love you, Sarah, all across New York City.
That's lit as fuck. Hey, think about it, bro. Some of the best music ever, like, came from the love of something. Like, my favorite era of music is, like, besides hip-hop. And this is no shout-outs. No, this is no shots at the old head. But, like, music in the 80s was different. Them niggas loved cocaine. I used to ask my mom, I'm like, what were they on in this era? She was like, on a whole lot of coke, the good coke too. You know what I mean? And then when they was on that coke, they talk about the love of their life. When motherfuckers was pouring out their hearts for the love of their life in the music, it made some of the most passionate shit ever. Love is everything, bro. Yeah. Love is everything, bro. Like, you couldn't do shit without love. I wouldn't be motivated if I wasn't getting love.
Yeah, there's no music to without, like, if there's not love songs, there's not really songs.
Exactly, bro. Even trappers, they rap about the love of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
They love getting this money, so they love getting this work off. You know what I mean? This is how it works. Love is everything, man.
So what about the other side? I wouldn't call it hate, but in terms of, you've been doing this music thing for a long time, and the reality of life, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So have you ever had any, like, dark times in your music that either you put out, or dark times that made you like, man, I'm gonna, like, quit, or like, I need to stop making music for a little bit?
I feel like everybody who makes music at some point in time get discouraged, but I've never gonna quit. Nigga, if I'm 56, I'm gonna still be rapping. If I don't make it out, it might not be the career that push and pursue, but I'm never gonna stop rapping or making music. Period. I'm gonna always be a creative, no matter what. But like hate to make niggas do crazy shit too. Hate to make a motherfucker quit their passion, and I've seen it happen. I've seen people who are buzzing, and that one thing happen, and then they start hating this shit, and then they lose their passion. I've watched the passion drain from somebody's eyes, and it's sad. You know what I mean? It's very sad. But I've never hated the process so much that I thought to myself that I want to quit. You know what I mean? I can't do it, bro. But on the opposite spectrum, maybe people hating on me. Hate doesn't motivate me either, but it is kind of satisfying when you flex on a hater. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen people who wanted to be in my position try to mimic me and try to get my same accolades, and when it didn't, they try to turn people against me. But my name is so fucking valid in what I do. Like I said, I'm in my own lane. I have no competitions that these motherfuckers disappear. You act like you ain't never heard of them. I talk to people about these people. They're like, who? I'm like, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on the opposite spectrum, I feel like hate is not as powerful as love. It can be if you let it, but it depends on the type of person you are. I never let hate get to me. I know a lot of people that hate me. That's why I say I'm the most hated. And I say that to people. It's like, listen, everybody I know love you, yeah, because you don't know my haters because they don't exist. I mean, they exist, but
they are not.
Like I said in the song before, like you know, the gods don't mingle with the mortals. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't do it when people are.
That's hard.
When people try to get at me in my own lane. It's like, pipe down, little man. I've never acted like I was bigger or better than anybody. But if you step into my bubble, I can show you how arrogant and cocky I can be because I'm so confident in what I do. I've never been the type of person to flex on anybody. But if you come trying to flex on me and shit that I started in the way that I started and the shit that I created, I will shut you down so fast that nobody will ever know who the fuck you were, and it's happened. And it's not a flex, but like to the camera, whoever, like, go find a YZM clone and tell me where they at. Tell me if they doing my numbers, and my numbers aren't the biggest, but tell me, are they doing anywhere near my numbers? And if they are, it's paid for. Tell me if they had to. Tell me if they had to. Are they getting booked as for as much shows as me, working with the same amount of people as me? Or do they have to pay for that show that they get on? I don't have to sell tickets. You know what I mean? I'm solid where I'm at. You know what I mean? I have sold tickets, but I don't have to sell tickets. I don't have to do as much shows as I want to do. I perform for the passion, but I'm always gonna get my opportunities because I put in this work. There's nobody that can take that shit away from me. So, like I was like, I'm not cocky, but I know my lane and I stay in my lane. You can't come in my lane. That's never, ever. You know what I mean? That's the only time you will hear me boast and brag about anything that I do. Is like I created a lane for myself. That's my lane. That's YZM's lane. Don't step in my bubble. If you're doing your own thing, cool. Just don't step in my bubble. That's the only time I'll get cocky. I swear.
Do you ever feel flattered when you hear somebody and they sound like a YZM clone?
Yes.
Is that flattering?
I love it. I love it. I do. The reason why is because as a local artist, the fact that I was able to inspire somebody, I'm inspired by people.
Yeah, true.
I will tell you who inspired my music anytime. I have no problem with being like, these are the famous people that inspire my music. These are the local people that inspire my music. Blah blah blah. I will always put that out there if asked. And I know there's some people who will try to take my sound and act like they didn't take my sound. It's flattering and funny because I don't have to call them out because people will and have called them out for me. You know what I mean? But I think it's dope. And I do have people who've come to me and be like, my sound is built off of your sound, or this song was inspired by you, or I'm just a younger you, or I'm just a new you, I'm just a girl you. Like I've heard this and it's always flattering. You know what I mean? I love it. Just like I say, oh, me and this person we are the, you know, we grew on the same tree type shit. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have this sound if it wasn't for this person, so on and so forth. I'm not afraid to say that. And so it's always flattering when I hear somebody who's inspired by me. It's always flattering when I hear YZM clones, except for when they try to take what I started. That's a difference. If you come at me negatively, but you know that you got your sound or your style from me, that's when it's an issue. But other than that, like, hey, if I inspired you, I had to start somewhere too. I used to sound like Lil Wayne and A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
I have my own sound now. So if it took for you to have to sound like me to create your own style, I think that's cool as fuck. I'm glad that I was able to help you elevate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. I never shitted on somebody, and even if I know that somebody kind of like tried to take my style, as long as they don't come at me negative, I don't even say nothing about it. Like, that's cool. Somebody be like, hey, did you hear that song from so and so? It kind of sound like one of your songs. Yeah, maybe, but hey,
so be it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad I inspired them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to, like, I hope one day somebody kind of rips our format. Like, I hope somebody starts doing this. I think that'd be cool. I don't know.
I think that would be cool too.
You have to start somewhere. You ever seen that interview with the nigga who created Hellstar? I'm sorry, I stuttered a lot.
Wait, was it Hellstar?
Hellstar, yes.
No.
So he was in an interview with somebody said, how do you, because I don't know if you've seen fashion or street brands lately, but they all look like Hellstar. Hellstar has, the way that they have their shirts, it's like, it's not like regular black tees. It's like almost like a grungy look to them. They're really thick,
kind of that
really
vintage
tight.
wash.
Yes, and then they have like this big, almost overall print, but it's like it's like a lot bigger, and it has a specific style compared to a regular graphic tee, right? Okay. And all of a sudden, every up and coming streetwear brand, or even some brands that are established that weren't popping as much as Hellstar, started to copy that. So, in the interview, the creator was asked, "How do you feel about all these brands that are copying Hellstar?" He's like, "It's dope." He's like, "I had to start somewhere. They had to start somewhere. Eventually, they're gonna get their own style." So, like, I'm here. I'll commend it. Like, use my blueprint to get to the point that you're at. That's exactly how I feel when I hear a YZM clone or somebody inspired by me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's dope.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm with
you. Got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
You got to start
like,
somewhere.
Nothing's fully original.
Yeah, I mean,
it comes from somewhere.
They say everything under the sun has been done, and it's true to a certain extent, but I can't agree with it completely, because if everything under the sun has been done, then why weren't cavemans using AI? You know what I mean? But but I understand what people are getting at, styles and trends and shit comebacks. Songs, disco was a relatively new genre in the late 70s, early 80s that died out and didn't make it to the 90s. But now there are people in the 2010s and the 2020s that make disco-inspired music. Yeah, everything under the sun has been done, you know what I mean? Eventually, even if a genre dies out, it can be revived. You know what I mean? And that goes with everything. Like, people got the Y2K aesthetic now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, like every 20 years, something comes back. Yeah. It's just cycles.
They come and they go.
Or like people blend two things and then you get a new thing. You blend that with something else, and then
for certain.
There's too many. I mean, not too many. There's a lot. It's good.
There's a balance.
Like all kinds of.
Everything is balanced as it should be.
For certain.
Things will come back.
I like disco coming back. There's There's an artist named Rick Wilson I like, who's a rapper singer based in Chicago. That a lot of his music is very disco influenced.
Word.
And like even at the shows, like the best dancers I've ever seen will go to those shows.
Word.
Like I'll see people like they like break dance and spin and do flips, and
yeah, bro.
they got a Soul Train going, and then it's a circle, and then yeah, like every aspect of it, the dancing, the music, the instruments, but yeah, I love people who just are very authentic to their own aesthetic or their own style.
Yeah, for certain.
You know? I think if you try to like ride whatever trends are coming, you never get a chance to develop that identity.
Agreed. Now, and I'm also somebody. I don't think that trends are necessarily a bad thing. You do need them to push the culture forward, because like I had somebody say to me, like, how do you make good music if you don't know what good music sounds like? You know what I mean? So there are some trends, and also like, let's say you have your own style, but your own style is similar to a style that's played out. You would need the trends to know exactly like what direction to go in, and then you can build off of that. So trends are not necessarily a bad thing, especially you have to be innovative. You have to move forward. Maybe if you know what the current trend is, you can use that to push what the next trend is going to be. But you have to know what the current trend is now. If you separate yourself, then you end up like Doechii, Lil Wayne. I love Lil Wayne, one of my favorite rappers, but he's kind of like not on his prime right now because he doesn't pay attention to everything that's going on, making his style kind of washed out. He's gonna always have a huge fan base, but but if he kind of not do exactly as Drake do, because Drake steals from artists, but if he would have stayed in like focused on what the trend is, he could have hopped on top of it and innovated, because Wayne has always done that. You know what I mean? So it's just shit like that. You got to know what's popping in order to do it, but also you have to be creative. Once more, I used to sound just like Lil Wayne and A$AP Rocky. I used them as influence before I was able to develop my own style, and now it's to a point that me, even as a local artist, I have people who sound like me. So you have to be creative at the same time, but everybody starts somewhere. You know what I mean? So like, trends are not always necessarily going to be a bad thing, but you always got to be creative, you know, innovative in your own way.
How long would you say that it took you to find your own sound, to transition from sounding like Lil Wayne and A$AP Rocky to YZM?
Shit, that's hard. I think what happened is I got too many comparisons, and I wanted the comparisons to stop. So eventually it's like the tropes that I got from them, I had to stop doing. It's like, this is how A$AP Rocky would do it. How would YZM do it? And that's it developed. It was pretty fast. It happened pretty fast. I think like I said, I started taking myself serious in 2018. Not 2018, 2013, right? Around 2013, I had abandoned the Lil Wayne sound, like the super metaphorical flow, and then started doing the A$AP Rocky sound, which is, I guess, is a Florida sound. He's from New York, but he was like, he kind of got his sound from Space Ghost Perp, and that's from Florida. But even Space Ghost Perp is inspired by like Texas and Memphis, right? So I started listening to a lot of music from Texas and Memphis, and I see how they have developed their style. And then I was like, now how would YZM jump on a Florida, Texas, Memphis beat? Yeah, I would do it like this. I would say it like this with this cadence. So I went and I don't hit it like Rocky no more. I don't hit it like Doechii no more, right? And then once I'm in that bag, I hit my full stride around 2018. I used to rap in my regular voice, like this voice that I'm speaking with. I used to rap in this voice, except for maybe because I speak very properly, but I will add a little bit more swang to it. You know what I mean? Make it a little bit more urban. But I think in 2016 I started rapping in a deeper register, and that was like, there it is. That's the YZM sound. That's you know what I mean? At first I used to literally go to the studio and have them deep in my voice, but then I was able to just start doing it myself. You know what I mean?
Start doing it.
Yeah, legit. I'll be like, cause like I remember my homegirl, she heard me rap one time and she was like, "How do you do that?" Cause like I'll be rapping like this and then I start rapping my verse and then I get the little shit, and she's like, "How the fuck you do that?" I'm like, over time it just happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I really hit my stride in like 2016 and haven't looked back since. So you develop your style as you go type shit.
Yeah. And how do you feel like your style has developed over time?
Everything comes full circle. That's the only thing I can say. Because then, like I said, once I start rapping, around the time I started rapping in my deeper register, I stopped doing the lyrical music because I was done preaching for the sake of preaching. I'm like, if you want to hear me preach, I have this many projects of that. And I started doing more like the rage trap sound. And now I took myself out of one box and put myself in another box. And I'm like, I just want to make any kind of music that I want to. So eventually my style develops into, it just comes full circle. It's like now I can get back on my lyrical shit. I can get back on my boom bap shit when I want to. I can sing and cry on a fucking record. I can scream on a record. I can rap in my low register. Like, just over time, once you've done everything that you need to do, you can just reach back into that bag when you need it. Like right now, I need deep voice gremlinism. Right now, I need high voice singingism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, just over time, like you've done it, so you know what you're doing. You just reach into that bag in that pocket and you got it.
Yeah.
And so since, taking yourself seriously and like making a bunch of music, what is one song or project that was particularly fun to work on?
Love Sick Black Summer and Rage God We Trust. Those two were fun to work on. Really fun to work on.
Yeah, what about it?
And Rage God We Trust, I had just started making rage music like 2 projects ago. And that, like, in Rage God We Trust was supposed to be my last like rage project because I was tired of all the, hey, we're gonna mosh to your music shit, like, and all the screaming. My throat couldn't take it no more. But it was fun to make because getting all the features and then recording the song and then going to the show right after. I just got done being viral, so my shows were super packed, and the moshing was fun for the time being until motherfuckers started getting hurt and tired. So it's like that was a very fun project to make. And then coming off of that, the pandemic happened, so I stopped really trying to do the rage shit, and I'm like, I'm gonna flip the switch. I'm gonna go so left field. Like, my first switch was from being lyrical to being like a trap artist, and everybody, you can, if somebody would have did that in the industry, they would have called them a sellout. You know what I mean? I feel like it's experimenting, but they would have called them a sellout. So luckily, as a local artist, I had that luxury to do that. But going from doing trap or rage music to doing essentially alternative music I feel like it's a bigger switch to flip. So it was really fun discovering that shit. And like I told you, I used to sing. I hate autotune. I really hate autotune. But my engineer and one of my homie Richie Guapo really got me in that singing bag and got me using autotune like crazy. And when I started learning how to get into different pockets when I was singing, that's what made it real fun. Discovering, putting the melodies together, singing, hitting all these notes, being able to drag my vocals more than I could when I'm rapping, not having to hit certain pockets when I'm rapping no more. Now I can just sing and shit. That project was really different for me at the time because I never made like a full project of me just singing or being alternative or anything like that. So Love Sick Black Summer was like a sick process of a sick, really fun album to make. Yeah.
Nice. And then after that, I know you really love performing. Do you have any performances that are like particularly memorable or really fun?
Anything from 2018 at the venue, the Celebrity Lounge, it's fucking sick. Some of the best shows ever, bro. Some of the best shows ever. Big ass venue, big ass stage, packed crowd from being viral. Mosh pits galore. Music videos, niggas being tossed, niggas being hit. I got punched in the face a few times, stomped out. You see me laying down on stage. It was fun. Climbing on shit, jumping off of shit. Shit, one of the greatest times ever, 2018. But outside of that, I opened up for Waka Flocka, and I want to say 2021. With Pusha Preem. It was one of my best shows ever. Yeah, that shit was fun. I've never had because I was just a featured artist. I wasn't the main artist. Pusha Preem was like on the flyer. I was just there with him. He let me perform like 2 or 3 songs. And the thing about it is that Pusha Preem told the people who booked him, they wanted big names on there. He's like, this is not my type of show. I make Afrobeat music. Get YZM on there. There's like, YZM is not a big name. We don't want YZM on there. He's an underground nigga. You know what I mean? So he shared a spotlight with me. Yeah. and it worked because this is a crowd of people who don't know who the fuck I am. They didn't come to see me, and they hear my music, and the crowd went fucking crazy. One of the biggest crowds I ever performed in front of, one of the biggest interactions ever. And then me still being a regular person, after the performance, I got off stage, and then I got in the crowd with them to watch Waka, and I was just getting a lot of love from the people who just seen me like rock out on stage. It was a great show. Great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Especially hearing that you're somebody who really has a connection to performing and like that connection with an audience.
Yeah.
Being able to have a big audience that's receptive.
Yeah.
And then just go jump in and be
And that shit, my stage presence, it comes from years of work too.
Yeah.
When I first used to get on stage, I used to be never nervous, but I used to be like, I didn't know how to. Crowd participation was something I didn't do. I got on stage, I performed my music, and I got the fuck out. But I will say that me and my collective were kind of different. When I came into the music scene, it was like a whole bunch of boom bap artists. They don't rap over their vocals. There was like one person on stage that was really slow. Me and my team used to get on the stage, and we were all my niggas on stage. We're jumping, we're yelling, we're screaming. It kind of changed the trajectory. I'm not saying we're the first to do it in Tampa. I'm just saying that we are definitely part of the innovators who did that shit. Me and my collective. There wasn't a time where you couldn't have a show and one of me or one of my artists weren't on that show, right? So then fast forward, I started throwing my own shows. I've learned how to host, so I learned how to talk to crowds, and then I added that into how I perform, my stage presence. I realized that talking to people on stage as a rapper is as easy as talking to somebody in real life. If you have social skills, you can get the crowd to interact with you. Matter of fact, if you don't talk to the crowd, a lot of the time they're not going to be receptive. So the more that you, like, I'll be rapping and somebody won't be paying attention. So after I get done with the song, like, hey, y'all wasn't paying attention over there. Y'all going to pay attention this time. I'll jump off the stage and go rap right in front of them. That'll make them pay attention. That'll make them more receptive. Like, oh, this is cool. I remember one time I got booked in St. Pete. And this is my first time in St. Pete before I was doing my own like shows and shit. And the crowd didn't know who the fuck I was. I was just a random booking. So they all were outside on the smoke break while I was on stage. And I was calling them in. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll let my music speak for itself, right? I said, y'all gonna come in regardless. I start rapping. I shit you not. Niggas is throwing down their drinks, putting their blunts and their cigarettes down, running in to mosh with me because this music speaks for itself. My stage presence speaks for itself. You know what I mean? That's all. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's dope. And everything I'm saying, like I said, you know how you hear shit a lot and you like I said, it starts to become unbelievable. I have receipts. So like everything that I'm saying.
This is on the internet.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I have a digital footprint. If you like, yes, and when the fuck did that happen? Here, here's the video of when this shit happened. I have it. You know what I mean?
I think that's one thing that happens so much that somebody will be performing and they'll be like, I'm not seeing enough dancing. Can everybody start dancing? But like, that's not what gets people to dance.
Yeah.
Like, if the music is infectious, if the music makes you want to dance, you'll dance.
If nobody's dancing to my shit, I'll start dancing myself.
Yeah.
I'll get in the crowd and start dancing with you.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, or same thing of somebody putting out a song and being like, everybody go stream my new song. I put it out, go stream it. It's like, play them the song. If they like it, they'll stream it.
And that's how I feel about music videos. Like I told you, a lot of people have shit online. Most of the time, people will be more receptive to a song if it's paired with any kind of visual.
Yeah.
Whether it's like an anime music video, an anime clip, if it's you doing a mic performance, if it's you doing an actual music video, if it's a bitch dancing to it, if your song is playing and there's a visual component to it, for the most part, that's gonna get more people to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
connects with people in more ways.
Yeah.
That's why movies put soundtracks, and like if you ever seen like those videos where like people will put different types of music over like a scene that is supposed to be like really dark or really serious, and then they just put some like SpongeBob music on it. Just the whole thing turns goofy.
Yeah.
Like the music paired with the visual really just like takes it to wherever you want it to take it.
For certain.
That's awesome. Yeah, just hearing you speak about it, I'm like just imagining like these crowds, because like my only experience with like being in front of a crowd was our last listening party, where it was pretty much just like all of our friends and family there just like coming to support, and like being in front of them and then like people kind of like singing along to the song was the most surreal experience that I've ever had in my life. And it was literally just like the homies.
Man, and that's just crazy. Because okay, when I was first popping, like when I was first starting to get like my little buzz up, I used to hide my face on the internet on some weekend shit. I used to have like this graphic. It was like a X made of duct tape, and I would put it on top of my face on all my pictures, right? So I built me a little fan base, and I got my first like major booking in the city. And these motherfuckers came to my show just to see what I look like, and they was rapping my shit word for word. Whoa. It was my first performance ever. Wow. I still have it. It's still on the internet to this day, like I said. I can send a link, and it was surreal being on stage, seeing people like, wow, y'all know my shit. I still live at my mom's house, fam. I just put this out. This is my first booking ever. I'm not even getting paid for this shit, and y'all rapping my shit word for word. I could have shed a tear, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a really cool experience. It's what I do it for.
Yeah. All right. So we're heading to the end of this. YZM, thank you so much. Your personality is so infectious. You're such a talented and prolific artist.
Yeah. Thank you. I try.
And so thank you for coming back onto the show. We have been wanting to ask people to leave a message to their future selves on the end of these episodes. So if you had a message for YZM 6 months, a year, 5 years into the future, what would you want to tell him?
Get these motherfucking songs done, my nigga. Put them out there. Let's get these visuals done. Let's get this bread. Stay focused. Make sure you put on for the next generation of new artists behind you, even if you're not the one that's in the limelight. Make sure these little niggas get their shine, my boy. Don't lose focus. Don't lose purpose. You did.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Little time capsule.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Shout out your socials. Spell them out.
I'm YZM. That's YZM. You can find me on Instagram at yzm.iii. You can Google me. More so if you Google YZM Macabision, because that's my collective. MACIBISION. Do that. I'll pop up. All my social media is either YZM or YZM Macabision. Shout out to my production company Visuals. That's YIZUALS. You feel me? Book me for a video, graphic design, all that good shit. And yeah, YZM on YouTube, YZM. YZM on Google, YZM. You know what I mean? Everywhere. You did.
Anybody, before we wrap, anybody you want to just shout out, show love to? Anybody?
Shit, I can go on
in the city, out of the city.
That I can go on forever, but like I said, shout out to Mika, shout out to Indie Indigo, DZ Wee, Tyrell Golden, K Lion, Hooli, Thought Crimes, Millie Moon, Richie Guapo, Diarco, FaZe Jones, Nico Sweet. Like I said, I could go for Swaver, Jay Briscoe.
Go ahead. You got a few more.
Let me see. Sage the Fox, Pusha Preem, Albert J, Psych Montano. You know what I mean? Shout out to all y'all motherfuckers. You did. I know I'm missing a lot of people. Some people are gonna be on my head, but
no, there's too many to get everything.
Way too many. I'm tapped in with a lot of artists. Too many. Shout out to Swaver too. Yeah, I mean.
Shout out to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Doechii for winning her first Grammy last night. That was incredible, and it was just, I feel like it's really gonna do a lot for the city.
Shout out to him, the poet. And Doechii, for certain, like if you ever stumbled across this, I just did a cypher last week on top of your Nissan Ultima beat. I know your Legend of Don is your homie, just like I'm your homie, and he put me on that shit. So it's 2 of your homies, 3 of your homies in that cypher with you, you know. Oh yeah, shout out Macy Slick.
They're gonna keep coming.
Yes, sir. So Doechii, if you see that, I still got your number. Let me know if I can hit your line. I know you still see me post on Instagram sometimes because you still reply to me, and let's get this Emma video done and cleared.
Facts. That song is too good to not have a visual.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I think hearing Doechii say too in that speech, like labels go to Tampa.
Yeah,
there's talent there.
Yeah,
go. So labels come to Tampa.
Shout out to Doechii.
Yeah. Shout out to the Swamp Princess.
For real, for certain.
That was it.
All right.
Thank you so much again.
Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
So that's YZM. That's AJ. I'm Jacob. This is Chang Hoff. Peace out, everyone.
See you at the listening party.
See ya. Boom, 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 boom.